name is Lin, and this is my second year studying and writing in Toronto. My piece is called One Time, and it grew out of the interaction between two sets of materials, contrasting materials. One set is more active, more forward-looking, and more driven, while the other one is more nostalgic, gentler, more tender, and more introverted. And when I was writing this piece, I thought of the materials not necessarily, I thought of them as personalities, but not necessarily of two distinct people, but perhaps also as different sides of one person's personality. So I think that we switch between our action mode and our contemplation mode, and we alternate between those depending on the context. And so I suppose you can hear, I hope, some of that happening in the piece.
You're not done yet. What went on behind the scenes here is that Sanya and Ryan met with the composers before they even started writing, and Sanya demonstrated harp techniques, and Ryan showed his vast array of percussion instruments, which is very impressive, and the composers were able to choose from those and develop their own setups. And then we had a workshop in the summer where the composers were able to hear their pieces for the first time, and Sanya and Ryan really went through the pieces and tried to help the composers understand the instruments a little more and how they might be able to help them develop the concepts they have, but perhaps while working on a bit of technique with them, so changing a few things to get the sound that they really wanted. And Yuting, you were a big part of this process. You had a lot of constructive criticism from Sanya and Ryan, and I wonder if you can talk a little bit about that process and if you learned a lot throughout this workshop.
Yes, when we went to Ryan and Sanya's house, yes, when I saw the room full of percussions, I was, like a kid in a candy store. I just, was excited by the possibilities, and also the possibilities of the harp sounds and approaches that I never knew were possible. And so I think I did overwrite, and that clearly came across on our first get together. I was, frankly, torn apart that day. It was quite. I enjoyed the process, and it was very helpful. And so I learned that the writer has to be responsive to the things that he's hearing and the things that the performers are saying, because ultimately they know the instruments the best. They're intimate with the instruments. And so and there are certain things that my imagination doesn't tell me clearly until I actually hear it. So maybe, I thought this tempo should go really fast, and in fact it's not that fast. Or I wanted to try something really cool, like some weird technique, but in concert, like some piece of thing will just go flying out into the audience. And we don't want that. So changes were made, and I learned a lot from the process. So I want to thank everyone who made this possible. Yes. All right, enjoy.